Hey guys, Crucifire here today with a brand new video, and today I am doing something really special because this is another figure video. So, if you guys, for all the new people who haven't seen or who haven't heard about this or seen these before, recently I have been doing, or for the past month or two, I have been doing clay figures of villains that I thought should have been senseis. Here's Dreamcatcher, and here is Pepperjack. These are this broke, sorry. Here's Pepperjack. If you guys want to see more about these guys, there's individual videos for them that should be on my channel. I should actually make a playlist of these now that I noticed it. Now that I noticed that. I'll do that eventually. So, yeah, since those two, I have made, like, it's been a month since I did one of these, and I have made 3 more characters because for some reason I ran out of paint, so I needed to buy some more, which kind of postponed this video. But I have now made 3 characters, and I'm going to be doing them in order. So, let's begin. Starting with this is the oldest guy. I think I made his live stream about 2 to 3 weeks ago, which is Gulper. Yeah, I really like how Gulper turned out. By far the best thing about him, I think, is the paint. He can actually move really good, too. I'll show it in the back. The best place to show the paint is the back. As you can see, he has 3 blues. Actually, I might need to move him away. There's 3 blues here. There's the light blue. There's a mix of light and dark blue, though that's really hard to see on camera. It's easier. You can notice it easier in real life. And then there's blue here. Some problems he has, which I'm not even gonna do, is the trident. If you move it a bit, it will just fall apart. I am not gonna do that because it'll take me like 2 minutes to get back on, and I don't want to waste time. Next thing, one other problem he has is detail. I should have done way more detail on this guy while I was making him. As you can see, like, if you look there, I drew on some teeth. I would have really liked if I just used, like, toothpicks like I did with Pepperjack. I used toothpicks as teeth for Pepperjack, and I should have done that for Gulper. I just painted on the coral, and I think I did that really, like, I was really lazy when I did that, and I don't know, I'm just not proud of, detail on this guy. I think his crown turned out good, right here, and the final problem I have with Gulper is, these eyebrows. I should have painted on, while I was molding him, I should have painted on the eyes so I could know where to put the eyebrows, because these are a little too high, I think, and that's just one of his main problems. Other than that, I actually really like Gulper, and I think, he's a good fit to the Doom Raiders. Now, the next 2 guys I have are not Doom Raiders. These guys I just think fit. And so let's begin. This is because there is not a magic Doom Raider, we needed a substitute. So I made Spellslamzer, aka the big boy. I made this guy, first problem with him, I made him way too big. There's Jetvac. That's Jetvac compared to Spellslamzer. He is huge. Spellslamzer is huge. I'm gonna admit, I love how he looks, except Spellslamzer is probably the character with the most problems. And that's mainly because of his size. Again, first off, this back piece. I hate this back piece. If you don't know, Spellslamzer, well, I don't know why you wouldn't, but Spellslamzer has fabrics on his back, around his back, and there's 4 of them. I only did 2, and they turned out, I think, awful. only one turned out good with this one because it's on like a loop. The other one is right here, and you can barely see it because it fused into his back. Another problem. Because he's so big, I needed to hold him up somehow, so I needed to put wires. You can't see him as bad now because they're painted on, but in real life they're really noticeable. There's wires everywhere coming off of him. Right there's one, if you see it right here. Might be a little hard to see. I'll get to this I'll get to it now. Biggest problem. Really biggest, like, this is the worst problem. Because he's so top heavy that he actually needs to slouch on one side. So there's actually a fix for this. Thank you, Dad. Thank you to my dad, because he came up with a good idea. As like I told him, like, there's only one problem I have with this figure, and like he's so top heavy that he slouches, and that's not how he is in the video game. And then my dad told me, why not just put a piece of wood under there, and then you can just paint it on so it looks like the base is it's just connected to the base. And I thought, man, that's the best idea ever, and it works so well too. Like, I'm eventually gonna glue this piece on because it helps so much. Now he can stand perfectly, so that I'm really happy with. One thing that I actually think turned out, there's one thing that bad happened, but it actually turned out to my benefit after some things happened. I painted this part here gray, which it is not in the video game, and it's supposed to be gold, and I painted these parts gold. So what happened was I repainted it, and these turned out to be a slightly different gray, but I think that worked out perfectly because Spellslamzer is supposed to be like a character made of different fabrics, and they're all sewn together, and this makes it look so much more like there's like just different patterns. One thing I did with another pattern is, as you can see, like there's this purple polka dot parts. That was in an artwork that for the battle arena, a certain like I think it was a storyboard they did for it, and pretty much there'd be like a Spitfire. It's really hard to describe, but Spitfire's fighting Spellslamzer, and Spellslamzer actually has different like fabrics. Like, this must have been his original design, and he had this polka dotted part. And I thought, hey, since I'm turning, he used originally Spellslamzer's light, so I thought, hey, because I'm making him magic, why not put like that purple polka dotted part to make him look more magic like. So, yeah, I like Spellslamzer. I just think he has some really bad flaws, but I like how he turned out. One last thing. If you look, he has his bands right here, and that actually turned out really well. It's really hard to see, but as you can see, like, there's actually some holes, and I think those bands turned out really good, too. And to end on a small note, because pretty much the only reason this character exists is because I had extra clay, and I had so much extra clay that I didn't want it to go to waste. So it wasn't enough to make like a Doom Raider, but I didn't want to scrap it because there's so much. So I thought, I'll make one more character. It had to be small. Broccoli guy. What does it see? Broccoli guy is really special because I actually, my fingers are in the way. I'll do it for me. If you look really closely under there, as you can see, he's actually floating, which is really cool. He doesn't have that much problems because he's so small. One thing, I didn't paint his eyebrows, but that I can fix anytime, but I'm probably not going to. In the game, his hair actually spreads more down around his head, but I didn't put that there, so now he just has like a giant bald spot, and this part is just like filled with zero details. But other than that, Broccoli guy turned out pretty good, I think. So yeah. Now there's one last thing I want to mention, which is, I mentioned this in the Spellslamzer live stream. when I hit 400 subscribers, which I'm really getting close to, and I can't thank you guys enough, I'm planning on doing a contest. Now, this isn't going to be a giveaway, but all I'll tell you is it involves the clay figures. I'll give much more detail once I hit 400 subs, which I'm getting really close to. Again, I cannot thank you guys enough. So, other than that, that's about it. And thanks for watching, and have a nice day. Goodbye.